shift in the state's electoral behavior. In Assam, delimitation has clearly worked in BJP's favor, reshaping constituencies and delivering a structural edge. In Tamil Nadu, the big question, did Congress miss a strategic opening with the TVK? Because alongside that, we are also witnessing the churn and decline of Dravidian dominance, with both the DMK and AIADMK losing ground. Back in Bengal, the story is even starker. The BJP has cut deep into the left's traditional vote bank, and it's not just Bengal. It's also about Kerala, where the BJP has cut into very strong left traditional vote bank. And when it comes to government employees, it looks what was once seen as a Trinamool backbone may now appear to have shifted its loyalties. This is why the outcome looks so sweeping. An even spread of BJP gains across Bengal. That's again a big highlight, even from Mamata Banerjee's own strongholds, the TMC's heartlands, as it were. The left faces an existential crisis, complete irrelevance in Bengal. And for the first time since 1977, no left government anywhere in India. In the northeast, the expansion continues. Assam now reinforces BJP's hold, marking its growing dominance along India's eastern flank. But in Tamil Nadu, there's also a limit to the narrative. Cultural Hindutva has not cut ice, showing regional identity still holds firm. And yet, one big macro trend stands out. Since 2014, the BJP remains the only party to consistently dismantle powerful regional satraps. Well, from what is being seen as the big takeaways, let's just get you straight to Bengal. A massive political shift is unfolding in West Bengal. The saffron tsunami has swept Bengal, crossing 200 seats, well past the halfway mark, with the BJP scripting history, handing a major setback to Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress. And this is definitely huge. For years, Bengal stood as the biggest exception, one of the biggest exceptions to Narendra Modi's political expansion, a formidable challenge. While the BJP swept across much of India, Bengal remained resistant. That resistance has now been broken. This is not just another electoral victory, it is one of the most significant breakthroughs for BJP in eastern India and a landmark moment in national politics. Visuals on your screen, the fish party by Bengal, BJP in Bengal. The moment, BJP's response to the rhetoric from TMC, where it said they will not allow you to have fish. That's the fish party that BJP workers are enjoying in Bengal after that historic win that they scripted. Bengal's political history makes this even more remarkable. The state saw 34 years of left rule, followed by 15 years of uninterrupted TMC power under Mamata Banerjee. Change has been rare here. But whenever it has been thumping. This is yet again. What makes this win even more striking is the turnaround. In the 2021 Assembly polls, BJP won 77 seats and a 38% vote share, a significant improvement from its 2016 showing of 3 seats and 10.2% vote share. This year, the BJP is on the precipice of winning 200 seats with a 45% vote share, well clear of the TMC at 87 and 41%. Mamata's powerful slogan of Ma Mati Manush, which drove 3 consecutive wins, has failed to hold ground this time as shifting voter dynamics and new political factors reshaped the contest. In fact, if we can just juggle our top bands as well, this mandate also carries a sharper political message. Voters have pushed back against what has long been alleged as a culture of intimidation and political strong-arming. There is visible assertion of electoral agency, a signal that coercion cannot outlast choice. Crucially, women voters have emerged as a decisive force in this shift, backing the BJP in significant measure and tilting the balance away from the incumbent. Their participation has not just added weight but altered the direction of the mandate itself. From Mamata's Mamata Banerjee to the new Mamata Modi movement, BJP has really flipped the script in West Bengal. And I'm being joined right now by Hindol Sengupta, who's an author and historian. Very good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining me. Mr. Hindol,
thanks for having me.
Let's just start with what really strikes the most. And that's the kind of mandate that's coming out of West Bengal. You've seen this very closely. You've documented this in parts very closely. How do you really look at this?
I think it's historic in many, many senses. I'll give you one thing that people are perhaps not yet talking about, because all the focus, of course, and rightful so, is on this big victory. The TMC ran one of the most, and the CPM before it, that legacy came to TMC, ran one of the most threatening regimes to India's security and sovereignty in the east of India. These regimes allowed absolute mayhem on India's eastern border, illegal activities, smuggling, human smuggling. There is, the long list, narcotic smuggling, gun running. There is nothing that didn't happen on the eastern border, including absolute mayhem and illegal migration that went on under the CPM and the TMC. This was one of the most crucial challenges, considering how important our eastern border is. I believe this victory of the BJP today in Bengal has effectively, for the first time in nearly 50 years, secured in many ways our eastern, very critical eastern border. As more and more troubles are emanating in Myanmar, as until recently major troubles were emanating in Bangladesh, and more trouble, I believe, will come in that region. This is the only way we could have secured it. The eastern border was getting more and more fragile. And I think finally, with the kind of governor that we have in Bengal, with this victory, both in Assam and in Bengal, especially in Bengal, finally our eastern border seems more secure than ever.
You know, Hindol, one of the things that really emerges out of this is, and it was very evident in Assam, it's been open, it's been out there, the consolidation of the Hindu vote. But that's emerged very strongly in West Bengal. And I do not think, from at least the way the results have shown up, I don't even think whether Mamata Banerjee and TMC even analyzed or assessed this correctly. It's a very strong consolidation of the Hindu vote in West Bengal. And not just that, BJP has managed to get inroads into the heartland of TMC, into Mamata's very own bastions, the kind of votes that it's been able to eat into. This is landmark.
It's been brewing for a long, long time. By the way, let me tell you, I grew up in Kolkata. I went to school in Kolkata. I have dear friends who are Muslims in Calcutta. These people have been telling me, especially in the last 5 years, that even though they are Bengali Muslims and they are completely integrated with Bengali society there, the kind of radicalization that they were seeing all around them, they were feeling frightened for their own children, their own family. Please remember, the kind of radicalization that was being supported by the TMC. There was a sitting chief minister who only a few weeks ago in a public meeting said openly, we are the only people standing between you and another community which can finish you off in 1 minute. What did she really mean? Are the Hindus of Bengal so stupid? Do they not understand what was being said to them? And do they really, did Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool really feel that all the Hindus in Bengal, they will all be eternally frightened, frozen in fear? No, of course not. Also, there are many Muslims, and I'm telling you this openly, there are many extremely, well-to-do, extremely, genteel Muslims, old families of Calcutta who voted against the Trinamool this time because the kind of radicalization that was being brought had come to their doorstep, to their own family, to their own children. The grounds were being prepared for a this different kind of demographic change in Bengal. It was already happening in the border areas. More and more it was coming closer and closer to Calcutta. Again and again, we were seeing instances of this. So all of these people really finally, with their back against the wall, decided enough is enough. We need change. And change has come to Bengal. All the lies that were told that, the culture only belongs to one party, Bengali tradition only belongs to one party. All these are lies. They've been fed to a hapless population. And today that population clearly said, we do not want to accept this nonsense anymore. We do not accept these lies anymore.
Hindol, when we talk about Bengal and when we talk about SIR, there are two things also that really stand out, and that's about Assam and Bengal. Two things that really stand out is also SIR and delimitation. Well, there are some who say delimitation has worked great for Assam. That's something that we'll come to you in a bit. But how do you look at SIR? How much of that impact really has been when it comes to BJP's victory?
It was absolutely necessary. Please remember, Bengal has a tradition. I always say this. Elite Bengalis in Calcutta always try to turn their nose up at states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. But the kind of corruption, the kind of violence in poll after poll that Bengal has seen from the CPM time right up to the Trinamool time is unprecedented anywhere in India. Please remember, this is a state where in panchayat election after panchayat election, hundreds and hundreds of seats would be, run and would be fought uncontested. What does uncontested mean here? People were so frightened that they wouldn't stand against first the CPM or the Trinamool, next the Trinamool candidate. This fear psychosis had been driven across Bengal. This was illegal voting was rampant. It was rampant. There are hundreds and thousands of people who had been brought in, who had been given illegal identities. All of this was rampant. If there was one place that truly SIR was required, it is Bengal. Please remember, Bengal, it had become commonplace in Bengal that any moment, Mamata Banerjee and other people in her party would say, any moment our cadre can freeze Kolkata, bring the city to a standstill. These lies, this toxicity had to end, and it has ended. I also want to ask the members of parliament of the Trinamool Congress, the people who used to say the most horrendous things again and again, did they even see their own constituency? What happened in Sandesh Khali? What happened in RG Kaur? The Bengalis, the ordinary Bengali, no matter which ethnicity they belong to, they were tired of this malaise, they were tired of this sickness, and change was critical. And they would have voted for anybody who brought change. The party that promised change the most and which showed the gumption to really fight it out on the street, constituency by constituency, block by block against this kind of violence was the BJP. So the BJP has won. Anybody who could show courage would have won. The BJP showed it.
Hindol, what is shocking, and this is happening again, Mamata Banerjee losing from Bhabanipur. Break that down for us. That's a bastion which has backed Mamata so many times. And yet the story of defeat is repeating. What is this? What is the message? Mamata Banerjee losing Bhabanipur.
And recently, when I checked, I think that she was trailing. I don't know whether the result of her losing has been declared.
She has lost.
Has she lost? Well, if she has lost, if the result has been declared, then let me say this. This is the ultimate sign that the Bhadralok, the elite of Kolkata, has turned against the TMC. If Mamata Bandyopadhyay could not even win in Bhabanipur, it means that the citadel has fallen. The very core of the citadel has fallen. If she cannot
what
even
win,
win,
by
Kolkata
that? I mean, this is what is
TMC.
important, and I understand, because Bhabanipur is not only a constituency which has backed Mamata, but has backed many CMs. And it has a history. It has a history of making and breaking CMs. Break this down for us. When you say she's not been able to hold on to even this citadel, what do you really mean by that?
Means that the CPM and the Trinamool always made one core argument, that the Bhadraloks of Kolkata would never vote for a quote-unquote right-wing party. They had the Bhadralok in their grip, electoral grip. These Bhadraloks, these so-called secularized, so-called progressive, so-called elite Bengalis of Kolkata were always either, CPM, and then they became Trinamool. And they felt that, any other party was an outsider. And these parties always suggested that no one could come to power in Kolkata and in Bengal because they had a grip. Because these people don't only control votes, remember this, they control the cultural narrative of Bengal. And the cultural narrative is very, very important. I think people outside and the BJP also for some time did not understand how critical this cultural narrative is. This cultural narrative means everything in Bengal. And there is no point of fighting this cultural narrative because this cultural narrative determines everything in Bengal. The people who are the custodians of this cultural narrative have finally completely turned against the TMC. If Mamata Bandyopadhyay cannot keep Bhabanipur, which means the tide has turned at the very sanctum sanctorum, at the very core of Bengali identity. The Bengali Bhadraloks have turned away and they have declared that they will today support a different party, a so-called right-wing party, the BJP, and they have brought it to power. This is the final death knell of the Trinamool. If Mamata Bandyopadhyay has lost, this is the final death knell. Because at least if she would have won, she could have continued the battle. Some, coagulation would have happened around her. But if she has lost, this is the end of days for the Trinamool.
No, just one more question. One side is Mamata Banerjee not being able to keep her own citadel, is not being able to keep her Bhabanipur to herself anymore. The other side is Suvendu Adhikari doing it again. Suvendu Adhikari breaching, winning Bhabanipur. Two sides of the same coin, but very strong meanings on both sides. Do you want to speak some about this?
I think what happened really, what turned the tide is the following, and let me share this with you. You remember the Sandesh Khali incident. What happened in the Sandesh Khali incident? Do you know, and Delhi media doesn't cover these things, but let me say this on your channel today. Do you know what has happened in the last few months in the Sandesh Khali case? Number one, the main assailant in the Sandesh Khali case, the longest time couldn't be arrested because he was a mafia lord there. Finally, he was arrested. Then the main witness was going to depose before the court, before the judge in the case. He was traveling in a car with his son. In an accident, a truck came and hit that car, killed his son instantly, and that man had to go underground. This is the real face of Bengal. All this intellectual nonsense that Trinamool MPs talk about in Delhi, this is the real face of Bengal. And this sickened people. I was recently in Bengal doing some research for a book. I spent a lot of time there talking to people at the heart. I was staying at the Calcutta Club. I was talking to a whole bunch of people. Each person told me that they were sickened by this incident, what happened in Sandesh Khali, and they were sickened by what happened in RG Kaur. That a young woman could be so brutally assaulted, could be murdered at the heart of Calcutta, really shook them out of their slumber. And today, the fact that Mamata Bandyopadhyay has lost Bhabanipur, well, this is because she's lost, because at the heart of Calcutta, people realized that the toxicity had reached their doorstep, the evil had reached their doorstep. If this can happen in RG Kaur, if this can happen in Sandesh Khali, their own daughters, their own mothers, their own sisters are not safe on the streets of Calcutta, and they couldn't bear it anymore. All the repercussions of this you today see in the results of the elections that are in front of you from West Bengal.
Right. Hindal, there's so much more to really discuss about West Bengal. You have a lot that also happened over culture. You had about food. I think we'll have to keep that for another day. Big results that have really emerged out of West Bengal. I think very important for TMC to really look into what has happened, but it's not just for TMC. I think the message is loud and clear for the India Bloc Alliance, as it were. I think BJP is formidable, and it definitely knows how to play its political cards. Thank you so much, Hindal Sengupta. Thank you so much for joining us. It's time for a very short break. On the other side, we dive straight into Tamil Nadu. What's really happened there?
अगर आप नहीं रहे तो ना ये सैलरी रहेगी और ना ही आपके फैमिली का भविष्य। इसलिए आज ही पॉलिसी बाजार ऐप से लीजिए 1 करोड़ का टर्म इंश्योरेंस, सिर्फ 410 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
Mummy says no anda in summer.
क्यों? तू समर में खेलता नहीं क्या? समर में एनर्जी नहीं लगती क्या? ज्यादा लगती है।
अंडा तो हर सीजन में सुपर हिट है।
सुपरस्टार है ये। सर्दी हो या गर्मी, संडे हो या मंडे,
रोज खाओ अंडे।
Tamil Nadu has delivered a political blockbuster. Actor turned politician Joseph Vijay's TVK has stormed into the state's political center stage. In its very first assembly election, TVK has emerged as the single largest party, rewriting decades of Dravidian dominance. But the big question, will Vijay become the chief minister, or will numbers stop him short? Currently, the tally stands at TVK 108 to 111 seats. Majority mark is 118. DMK is at 70 plus. AIA DMK around 50 plus. Tamil Nadu is staring possibly at a hung assembly. Celebrations have erupted outside Vijay's residence. Party leaders are calling it a silent wave, a clear rejection of both DMK and AIDMK. TVK spokespersons insist we will form the government on our own, but the math tells a different story. The big question remains, how will the TMK form the government? Option 1, small parties, big role. Vijay's easiest path could be stitching together support from smaller players. Possible allies could be Congress, CPI, VCK, PMK. This route helps TVK stay ideologically independent, avoid big compromises, but smaller parties could demand key ministries. Policy control may get diluted. And then you have AIA DMK handshake, a post-poll alliance with All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Karagam could be a game changer. Would that happen with BJP in the fray along with AIA DMK? That's something that really has to be looked into. It has its advantages about the strong anti-DMK front governance experience, as it were, but how much of it can practically work out, we'll have to really see that. Third one, unlikely, but a possible DMK deal, a tie-up with DMK itself, very unlikely. Vijay had openly targeted MK Stalin. In fact, he had repeatedly spoken about the corruption in DMK. If Vijay pulls this off, he will become the first actor CM since MG Ramachandran in 1977. That's a 49-year-old political gap. Unlike the past, this rise is built on youth frustration, anti-incumbency, governance promises, intense backroom negotiations, smaller parties turning kingmakers, pressure on Vijay to compromise, even without majority TVK, which has already changed Tamil Nadu politics forever, from cinema screens to the corridors of power. The numbers may be short, but the momentum is massive. The final question remains, will Thalapathy Vijay take the oath? That is very much likely, but how is he going to take is the big question at this point. I'm being joined by Sugata Srinivas Raju, author and senior journalist. Thank you very much. Good evening. It's been stunning results. Firstly, let me just ask you this simple question. Did you expect this in Tamil Nadu?
Well, one did expect TVK to do well. There was no doubt about that. If you spoke to people on the platforms in Chennai, or people who were, you generally had a conversation with in the election season, you knew that there was a kind of huge support building up for the TVK. But one thought that the TVK would end up with about, say, 15 or 20% vote share. And that would mean that they would end up number 2 in most constituencies in Tamil Nadu. So that is what one thought TVK would achieve. But what has finally turned out is phenomenal. It's something that one did not expect. But I would still say that, this level of achievement or this level of victory is nothing compared to what N.T. Ramarao achieved. You mentioned M.G. Ramachandran, MGR's victory in 77. But then, 72 was when MGR broke away from the DMK and formed the AIADMK. But then in 82, when the party was formed, it was an absolutely new party, N.T. Ramarao's party, Telugu Desam party. And in 83, when the elections were held, 46% vote share was with TDP. And the Congress ended up with 60 seats and with about, I think, if I remember correctly, about 33% or 34% of vote share. So that was a massive debut. But if you compare that with what has happened today with TVK, TVK is still short of about 10 or 12 seats. We still don't know the final number. So they may be short of 10 or 12 seats. And what happens when you are short of 10 or 12 seats is what we have seen earlier in Karnataka. See, when the BJP came to power twice here, they were short of majority by a small number. So when you have to sort of poach from the other parties, or if you build a kind of legitimate alliance with those parties, you end up giving away a lot of your portfolios. There's a lot of compromise. So we still don't know how that would pan out, but one has to concede this is a fantastic victory. And this victory is far more sweeter for a common man, for the simple reason that, if there has been an election in recent times which did not take into consideration caste affiliations, if it did not take into, record religious kind of concerns, then the 50% of women vote. All of that, and no use of money. That's the more important thing, because the southern states, you see a lot of use of money, buying of votes, distribution of money, kind of patronage system works in a very, very big way. And you also see a lot of dynastic networks come into play. So if there is one election in recent times which needs to be celebrated for reasons other than pure political victory, it's because the use of money in this election has been has played no role. See, DMK's complacency came from the fact that they thought that they could win through money. Money could be distributed, or by announcing the kind of welfarist programs that Stalin ended up announcing, he promised 8,000 rupees, increased, the annual, the monthly welfare thing for women by 1,000 rupees. No, there were lots of things that were being said on record, but off record too. The simple purchase of vote that used to take place, that people have, I think, woken up to that or rejected that here. Why that happened, how that happened, is something to be studied by sociologists and political analysts going forward, because the numbers become clear. But there was a kind of situation for TVK where they had no candidates. He just distributed tickets randomly. In fact, a lot of friends from Chennai have been telling me that they've been asking around, who are you going to vote for? And they are just speaking about the symbol, the whistle symbol. And nobody knew who the candidate was. And sometimes, when elections are all about matching castes, creating a balance there, the tyranny of the OBC vote, which existed in Tamil Nadu, has been broken for the first time in, say, 60 years. And that's something that needs to be celebrated. We don't know if this is going forward, this is going to be the trend in India. The BJP has always been trying to create a kind of pan-India narrative, use faith and religion as a kind of pan-India narrative, try to consolidate the Hindu vote. Such things also did not play a role. But I'll come to BJP later, because I also read in this a certain kind of ideological victory for the BJP. It's not a electoral victory. Yes, I will tell you why a little later.
No, go ahead. Tell us that, because my next question was going to be this. One of the things that you've seen in other states, what you've seen in Assam and what you have now very convincingly seen in West Bengal is the consolidation of the Hindu vote. That's now unquestionable.
Right.
In Kerala, you have, it's very likely that a part of the left vote has gone to BJP. Between the Congress and the BJP, possibly that has happened. In Tamil Nadu, though, this cultural Hindutva doesn't seem to have cut the ice.
Yeah, see, that is because the political culture of the state has been sort of formed in a certain way in the last 6 decades. And you...
All right. I think we are having some concern. There's some technical issue. We'll try and fix that. But what an interesting conversation about what's happening in Tamil Nadu. Sugata Srinivasa Raju here decoding Tamil Nadu, decoding Vijay's big victory. All right, we are back with Mr. Sugata Srinivasa Raju. Thank you so much, sir. I think we are back. We've managed to get our connection back. But go ahead. You were talking about how I was asking you the question about how there seems to have been a consolidation of Hindu vote in Assam, West Bengal. But when it comes to Tamil Nadu, this cultural Hindutva doesn't seem to have cut the ice.
That's right. You're absolutely right, because the political culture of this state has been very different for the last 6 decades. See, it's been built on a very different kind of diet. The BJP did try to do something, they tried to polarize last time with the Murugan kind of symbolism, which did not work then. And this time as well, they tried a few things, but, the Deepam issue that was happening and all that, but that did not cut any ice. So the voter who came out to vote broke away not just from the shackles of religion, but he also broke away from the shackles of caste. So caste and the OBC consolidation that distribution that had happened between OBC caste, between the DMK and the AIDMK, does not seem to have worked in this election. So people have come out, and there has been a certain kind of, he has created a certain universal appeal, which is something that an MGR used to create. That's something that he has recreated. But there are a lot of differences between MGR and him, which we can speak later. But then the interesting thing is why I said that there has been a kind of ideological victory for the BJP. Without the BJP BJP was not a major player. It contested 1 seat less than the Congress. In fact, 27 seats was what it contested. So it was not a major player. It conceded to the AIDMK. It allowed the AIDMK to be the bigger partner naturally. But But if you observe what Prime Minister Modi has been doing in the last 5 to 6 or 7 years, he has been trying to build the civilizational argument in Tamil Nadu. He has been trying to speak about Tamil Nadu repeatedly, not just within India, but even outside India, acknowledging the Tamil antiquity of its language or its literature or its people or its civilizational kind of foundations, and also, taking the Tamil civilizational issue to Kashi, doing the Kashi Sangamam. And whenever there has been an opportunity, he has dressed up in an attire which is, the Tamil attire. And when Xi came to India, the Chinese president came to India, he took him to, the whole conclave was held in Tamil Nadu. So the focus on Tamil Nadu, while he approached Bengal in a completely different way, the cultural approach towards Tamil Nadu has been very, very different. And I think the BJP realized that they have to get somebody else to break the Dravidian kind of stranglehold of the state first.
That's interesting you are saying that.
That's I think they have now, if you look at it, the Dravidian thing has gone, in the sense the
that's completely wiped. I don't think whether Tamil Nadu has seen this kind of a thing in its history. The way it's not just about the way DMK is gone, it's decimated for that matter. It's also AIA DMK, it's not like, okay, fine, for a very long time you thought AIA DMK was in a reboot mode. You possibly thought that it was a second, it had kind of defeated the DMK, but both, it's a politics away from what Tamil Nadu has stood for and has done for all these decades.
Correct. But intelligently, Vijay, although he did not touch the religion thing and try to use the polarization plank, he's a Christian, comes from a Hindu mother and a Christian father, and that dichotomy has been, that split has been spoken about endlessly. And then, but he has a girlfriend who's a Hindu. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, he very interestingly fused the progressive elements of the Dravidian culture. He spoke about Periyar. He spoke about, the welfarism that the Dravidian parties are known for. And if you look at his manifesto, it's pretty interesting that, he repeats that entire welfarist structure that the Dravidian parties created. In fact, he tries, it could be doles for unemployment, it could be, women empowerment kind of things. Focusing on youth and women, but also a large kind of welfarist kind of idea, which he borrows quite well and implants into his own manifesto, is something made him look very inclusive. So actually what he did was, he borrowed the best of the Dravidian, ideologies, and then fused it into his own kind of humanist kind of approach, and then looked very inclusive.
Right.
So is something which is very interesting. And besides that, why I also said that this ideological victory is because, TVK also sort of breaks the anti-Hindi kind of rhetoric that the Dravidian parties always brought up. See, today I was watching television, and TVK supporters were trying to talk to channels from Delhi, and they were making an attempt to speak in Hindi, which was unthinkable. You're right. So there is that. So that is the reason why. That's the reason why I say that although the BJP is an insignificant presence electorally there, the ideological agenda of the BJP has been indirectly implemented in Tamil Nadu's victory.
That's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, everything is broken. You can now get yourself in the next elections.
Sagatha Srinivasa Raju, after what you are saying, it's also important to mention at this point, we don't know Vijay's stand on several issues. Yes. We don't know his stand when it comes to language. This entire Tamil, Hindi imposition row, as it were. We don't know where he stands when it comes to NEET and several other controversial issues that have been traditionally, the pillars of Tamil Nadu politics. But I think people have been wanting a change. People want to see a very different nature of politics, and we'll have to see how much of that Vijay will be able to deliver. For now,
he would certainly not be as rabid as the DMK. DMK almost used it as a formula. You saw it during the 131st, Parliament amendment, the recent special session to pass the 131st amendment. They all came in black clothes. They spoke about the anti-Hindi postures of the BJP. They tried to create a federalist agenda, which nonsensically the Congress bought into. In fact, Congress is a national party with a national footprint, but actually started borrowing a lot of federalist ideas from the DMK.
And ironically, from what seems to have been going with Vijay now, Congress clearly seems to have missed the bus. It missed that opportunity to really partner with Vijay.
And that there was a clear signal. Let me give you one example.
30 seconds. I'm totally out of time. I have to take a break, sir.
This Jananayakan movie was not released, but then there was another movie made around the same time called Janashakti. I forget the Parashakti.
Parashakti.
The Parashakti movie was, I think, backed indirectly by the DMK. Correct. It was about the anti-Hindi movement, and that movement flopped, and that film flopped. And the DMK should have taken a clue that people are just not interested in something like that. But then, they did not pay attention to a huge signal that was coming from the masses.
Right.
They just went about, doing things as usual, and they thought money could help them out.
I think that's the story across West Bengal and Tamil Nadu as well. Sugata Srinivas Raju, thank you so much for that conversation. We have so many more layers to unravel, but unfortunately short on time. Hopefully we'll have another sequel to this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Time for a very short break. On the other side, we get you all the latest. We break down what's happening in other states as well.
उस एक बीमारी ने हमारी जिंदगी बदल दी। हॉस्पिटल का बिल इतना था कि ना तो घर खर्च के पैसे बचे, ना EMI भरने के। लेकिन फिर कुछ ऐसा हुआ जिसकी हमें उम्मीद नहीं थी।
सर, आपका हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस क्लेम अप्रूव हो गया है।
पॉलिसी बाजार ऐप पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 550 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
After a blockbuster first season, where corporate giants and industry leaders rule the court, TV9 Network presents the ultimate corporate badminton championship season 2. A battle of skill, speed and supremacy with a massive 5 lakh rupee prize pool across categories at Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Gachibowli, Hyderabad from the 15th to the 17th May 2026. The court is set. Let the battles begin. Catch the action only on TV9 Network. To register, log on to www.tv9x.com.
Associate sponsor KL deemed to be university. Special partners Campa Sure, Shukar hai, Sure hai. JK Max Paints. ChatGPT helps you get answers and find inspiration. Venue partner Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy.
Everyone who's tried it believes it. New Birla Opus Paints gives up to 16 years warranty on walls. That's why it's the new paint for a new era.
With AI-powered systems like the DSU AI Factory, threats can be detected and countered in real time, protecting lives. Artificial intelligence is transforming industry and shaping the future. Behind every breakthrough lies one essential force: compute power. Dayananda Sagar University, we are building a next-generation AI ecosystem where powerful infrastructure meets bold ideas, shaping tomorrow's intelligence.
बेबो का एक ही रूल, रोज खाओ अंडे विदाउट भूल।
समर में एनर्जी हो जाती है कम, खाओ अंडे एनर्जेटिक रहो हरदम। स्ट्रेंथ और पावर मिले हर रोज विद प्रोटीन्स एंड मिनरल्स का डेली डोज। Eggs are cool, cool, cool. Yes, eggs are cool, cool, cool. Yes, eggs are cool, cool, cool.
संडे हो या मंडे, रोज खाओ अंडे।
Welcome back, and I'm being joined by my panelists at this point. I'm being joined by Manish Bariyar, who's a spokesperson with BJP. Dr. Nishant Anand joins us, who's a spokesperson for the Congress. I'm also being joined by Kavita Muralidharan, who's a senior journalist with Tamil Nadu. And I should be joined by George Kaliavil as well as Pratim Ranjan Bose shortly. We should try and get them, but all right, I'm also being joined by George Kaliavil. Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much. Manish Bariyar, let's just straight go to you. Manish Bariyar, what a evening it has been, but what's been the big takeaways for you? Let's just start overall. If you have to look at the two big takeaways, what would they be for the BJP?
Good evening to you and good evening to all the viewers and my co-panelists. I think the takeaway is very simple, that governance wins, law and order wins, nationalism wins, and there is a defeat for what we call pseudo-secularism, because if you really at the cost of the nation, at the cost of the people, if you do not really give any two hoots to the desires of people for development and would only appease some set of people, I think the people one day will get fed up and they will look for alternatives. And that is what it has happened in both. In fact, Bengal is a classic case where people were completely fed up with the law and order situation. So they just felt that if I'm able to appease a certain set of people, then irrespective of whatever we do, whatever the kind of gundaism that was that was there for long period of time, we will continue doing that. And that was rejected by the people. They all want peace, they want development, and Bengal was stalled for last 30-40 years, right? One of the places, intellectual places, highly intellectual place, and the look at the sad state of affairs Bengal was in. So that was something. And Assam, again, our government has been rewarded for good governance. The kind of overall development Assam along with the rest of the Northeast has seen, that is to be seen, to be believed, right from infrastructure push to jobs to welfare schemes. All these have been developed by the government, Himanta Biswa Sarma government, and he got resounding victory because of that.
In fact, Kavita, we spoke a few days ago and we thought, what if Vijay does what is being spoken of? It would be scripting history, where he has done it. He has scripted history, and how?
Amazing. I mean, I'm completely astonished, Neha, because none of us expected this. It also, I think we also need to reflect how we have kind of failed to assess the ground. Also, because I think, there are many factors. Yes, I agree with Sugata when he said that, people have not voted for money, or people have, this time they have cut across caste lines. Those two are important factors. But the other factor is the fact that people are voting only for Vijay. In most places, in many constituencies, the voters didn't even know the name of the TVK candidate, but they still went ahead and voted for the candidate because they thought they are voting for Vijay himself. Vijay, in one of his early meetings, he said in every constituency, he will be the candidate. I think that kind of resonated with people. And Tamil Nadu, I thought the era of personality politics was over, especially after the passing of Kalaignar and Jayalalitha. But apparently people still wanted someone to look up to, and that is where Vijay kind of fits in. One, they wanted a change, and Vijay has this charisma. I'm not sure if we can still compare him to MGR, because, what is going to happen next is equally important. I think it's not just about winning. Vijay is still inexperienced when it comes to running a government, administering a state. I don't know how he is going to handle it. What his ministry is going to look like, how his bureaucratic lineup is going to look like. There are many questions, many challenges ahead of Vijay. But for now, I think people have overwhelmingly voted for him, even though he's like short of ECI website said 107. He's short of majority, but I think it's a huge victory. It's not just I think there has been a wave. And yes, Gen Z has voted for Vijay, but I don't think it stopped with Gen Z. People have even beyond that, and it's not just cut into ADMK. Obviously, it's cut more into ADMK vote bank, but DMK is also hit by this. Otherwise, this would not have definitely happened. But For me, I think DMK has been without power. It's been in the opposition more than it has been in power. So I think DMK will take it in the stride and will try to bounce back.
Well, the point really is whether DMK and AIADMK both will be listening to what people are saying. Because the message from the people is very clear. They've literally moved away from the Dravidian model of politics, as it were, for decades and decades in Tamil Nadu.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what Vijay had. I still have my own doubts about his ideological credibility, but at least Vijay has Periyar and Ambedkar on either side as his ideologues. In that sense, I don't think he's actually drifting away from the Dravidian idea of Tamil Nadu, because he well had a chance of aligning with Nam Tamil. In fact, he was in talks with Nam Tamil leader Seeman. But after he declared Periyar as his ideologue, I think Seeman drifted away and Seeman said, I am not for this. So Vijay was very clear in that. I am yet not convinced that he is ideologically grounded, but I would never say that the state has moved away from Dravidian idea, because Vijay himself puts himself across as someone coming from the Dravidian background without the party thing. It's not just about the DMK or the ADMK. Dravidian idea goes beyond the two parties, and that's what Vijay is trying to kind of push, I think. But a lot depends. I don't know what will happen. He's still short of 11 seats. So how is he going to manage? If he goes to the BJP, then that kind of pulls everything down. Whatever we are talking. But whether he will go to the BJP or whether he will talk to the other parties, including those in the DMK alliance, a lot of things remains to be seen. It's going to be very interesting in Tamil Nadu the next few weeks.
All right, Mr. Nishant. Dr. Nishant joins us. Mr. George is with us. Very quickly, a short break and we'll get back right to this discussion.
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
With AI-powered systems like the DSU AI Factory, threats can be detected and countered in real time, protecting lives. Artificial intelligence is transforming industry and shaping the future. Behind every breakthrough lies one essential force: compute power. Dayananda Sagar University, we are building a next-generation AI ecosystem where powerful infrastructure meets bold ideas, shaping tomorrow's intelligence.
Mummy says no anda in summer.
क्यों? तू समर में खेलता नहीं क्या? समर में एनर्जी नहीं लगती क्या? ज्यादा लगती है।
अंडा तो हर सीजन में सुपर हिट है।
सुपरस्टार है ये। सर्दी हो या गर्मी, संडे हो या मंडे,
Pratim Ranjan Bose also joins us. Good evening. Mr. George, let's just come straight to you at this point. Kerala, not a surprise. Everybody was kind of expecting this, particularly after what happened with the left over the last two terms, the historic win that it did manage to get. This time, quite a rout for left across the country. 1977 and now no left government has direct implications on Kerala, which has a very strong left root, as it were, very strong left foundation, as it were. But today is a moment for Congress.
Neha, as you rightly said, left lost the last left bastion in Kerala too. Now, nowhere in India, left is there in power. They don't have a chief minister, not even a minister now. There are multiple reasons for the big victory for Congress and UDF in Kerala, I think. And the main one is anti-incumbency itself. The anchor against the Pinarayi government, which was ruling for the last 10 years. And that is why out of 21 ministers, 13 lost, including high-profile ministers. So many that big loss. Even Pinarayi Vijayan, Chief Minister, was behind for at least initial 7 rounds. Then he came back and won with a majority. But the second one, I think the major one was the power concentration of Pinarayi Vijayan and only men. It was unlikely for CPM or Communist Party, but it happened and people doesn't like that, doesn't agree with that. The third one, I think, is unity of the Congress and UDF was major. Because last 10 years they are out of power. They were very sure that they should come back to power at any cost. And K.C. Venugopal, Sri Ramesh Chenithala and V.D. Sadishan, all others, they took as a team, including...
But that unity doesn't seem to be very long-lived.
Yeah, that may be a different issue. But, there are so many issues like BJP's rise also may have helped this UDF huge victory because they have eaten into the vote bank of CPM. As everybody knows, CPM and CPI are the biggest Hindu parties in Kerala right now, but they lost their own vote bank, especially the minority vote bank and the Hindu vote bank. The minorities, both Muslims were completely, almost 95% were with the UDF and Congress. They were supporting. And Christians also. Majority of the Christians, especially, out of 14 districts, 6 was, it was complete seep by the Congress and UDF. The Malappuram, Ernakulam, Kottayam, Idukki, Wayanad, and those districts, there was not even a single victory for LDF. All seats were taken away by the UDF. That means there is a clear sweep, anti-incumbency in there. There are economic views, there are Sabarimala vote the case, so many others are there. And the reduction of support of key demographic groups.
Right, Mr. George, let me just get in Dr. Nishant, because before I go to him about Bengal and Assam, I must go to him about Kerala. Dr. Nishant, a big sweep, but a very crucial saving phase.
Yes, good evening. See, first of all, congratulations to every single UDF and Indian National Congress member and leader, because we all fought a hard, honest and well-run campaign. See, we stood the ground when the pressure was at its peak. And so it's good thing that we have won with the majority in Kerala.
You stood the ground for what?
Let's be real. Sorry?
You stood the ground for what?
Holding the ground when we can see the kind of democracy we are living in today, the BJP and how they misuse the election commission by SIR, ED, CBI. So with all these hurdles, the members and the UDF worked together and we have won. Because let's be real about the battlefield today. The Indian National Congress is not just fighting with just a political party, BJP. We are fighting with the compromised institutions. So we are up against a system that has been bent to ensure the BJP gets whatever they want.
And it was only in Kerala that system wasn't bent?
No, see, we need to understand when jab ghar mein chori hoti hai, the chor sona chandi, they take everything. But they leave a small thing like an almirah or a bed. So they have won in 21 states. And if we talk about Maharashtra, Haryana, all these states, Bihar, they come up with 200 plus numbers. So we all know the system is compromised. And Election Commission is making sure the script that is presented by the BJP to them, they deliver it. So BJP gets whatever they want.
Then why couldn't they deliver it in Kerala? Why couldn't they deliver it in Kerala?
As I said, out of 5 states, if they are getting Assam, if they are getting West Bengal, if they are getting in Pondicherry, so they know when
Kerala
to get
doesn't
and
matter.
what to get.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Let it just go.
Well, if any sensible person can understand, there is out of 5 states, they are taking 2-3 major states. They have won in 20.
I am from Kerala and I'm sorry, I am not that sensible person who understands your argument. No, I don't get your argument. I'm sorry, the people of Kerala have given a very decisive mandate. And I do not think you can give it away in a manner that you are really saying. Manish Bariyar, please respond to Nishant.
You did not.
Yeah, that's very strange what he's speaking. That's an insult to the mandate and the trust of the people of Kerala. I don't know how he's saying and what he's saying. We all
You have-
respect
you have called me.
democracy,
No,
and
I
you know,
say
that has to be
that
really
today Indian National
honored.
Congress is fighting with the people.
But then that shows the bankruptcy of the Congress party. Whenever they lose, they are very sore losers. Even while they have won, they have really insulted the mandate. So what more can I say? Except the
No.
fact that they will have to really, be very honest and do
I
some real
started by
introspection
saying
as to
congratulations to all the members of Indian National Congress.
Yes,
and
but you're
UDF for
concluding
winning
by
Kerala.
saying out of 5
Because you
states,
did-
all are gone.
because you did not-
One BJP
No,
is okay with giving to
because
Congress.
You did not let me complete. You have to give me 60 seconds if you have called me on
I
your
will
debate.
give you 60 seconds and
If
more.
you will interrupt me in 20 seconds, how will I complete?
No, I did not
have to
interrupt.
give me
You can
time.
go back and do
See,
your reel, but please go ahead. I'll give you more than 60 seconds, sir. Don't worry. This is a show where I don't stop anybody from speaking. You'll have your time. Please go ahead. Finish.
See, the BJP talks about Modi magic, but where is the magic for the common man? What they have promised in Maharashtra, Haryana or Delhi.
what have I
they
asked you? What are you answering?
Again, in 10 seconds, you interrupted me.
Because you're not
ask me after
answering the
second-
question,
No,
Mr. Nishant.
I'm not here to answer your question. I'm here to tell what I'm supposed to tell.
No, you are here for a panel discussion, sir.
Yes,
Mr.
I
Nishant,
answered
you're
by
here for a
saying-
panel discussion. You're
Ma'am,
here
I
to
have to-
answer the question. The speeches can happen somewhere else.
No, I'm not giving a speech. You did not let me complete for 30 seconds.
Go ahead. I'm giving you again the opportunity. Please go ahead and complete.
If you
My
interrupt
question
me
is very
again-
simple.
if you
I'm
interrupt
trying
me
for
again, I
you
will
to
disconnect.
please
If you
explain
interrupt
what
me
you are
again-
saying, sir.
if-
With all due
No.
respect. Go ahead.
Ma'am, if you interrupt me again, I will disconnect. You can make
Go
a
ahead,
reel of
please.
60 seconds or 90 seconds, doesn't matter to me. I started by saying congratulations to the UDF and Indian National Congress for winning in Kerala. But I am answering how BJP win all these states in the last 4 years. What they have done in Haryana, Maharashtra and all these states, they have not delivered what they have promised. So the question is, the Election Commission and the institution that they misuse, the script that they provide to Election Commission, they make them win. And that's how they win in Assam, in West Bengal, Haryana and Maharashtra. They promise in Delhi कि होली और दिवाली पे सिलेंडर मिलेंगे नहीं मिले, Maharashtra लाड़की बहना, they have not delivered it. So the question is, how come the BJP is winning everywhere? The promises have failed, the people have been ignored, yet they still claim victory through a narrative built on a PR and an institutional bias. Indian National Congress is not chasing Modi magic. We are here to fight for the people, and our mission is to make sure what the government promises is actually delivered to the people. That's what we have done in Karnataka or Telangana. So Congress does not give excuses. So how come in Kerala, they have not misused the institution? They have not, that's why if the voting is happen clean way, Congress win in the state. The vote is the most powerful instrument ever devised by a man for breaking down injustice and destroying the terrible walls, which imprison men because they are different from other men. The BJP has completely compromised the institution. That is why wherever the election is happening, from Bihar to Maharashtra to Haryana, using the SIR process, election commission process, they win with the majority. We are the ones who are fighting for the people's right and the government that works for them, not for itself. This is this point I want to make.
You asked me for 60 seconds. I have timed my watch and I have given you 2 minutes of uninterrupted time, but you still haven't answered my questions, sir. And that's where I have a problem, because your questions are not pointed at Kerala. They are going all over the place when I asked you a question about Kerala, and that's where really the problem is. But nonetheless, you have chosen to answer how it is, and people will listen to it anyway. Pratim Ranjan Bose, I want to come to you for a very important part at this point. And that is what many have spoken about, the consolidation of Hindu vote. Assam, it was a given. It was happening, it would happen again. Many people are taken aback with the manner of consolidation of Hindu vote in West Bengal.
Right.
And it's not just about that. In Kerala, if you look at how BJP seems to have eaten up into left votes, it's far from a consolidation of a Hindu vote in Kerala. It's far from that. But the manner in which BJP seems to have eaten up into left votes possibly is a red flag. How do you look at this, sir?
No, first of all, in West Bengal, it is always ruling party and anti-ruling party vote. So that way, BJP has eaten into left votes long ago. left scored 0 in 2021 election, and their vote percentage was 2%. From there, they improved a little in 2024. So that's no more mystery. I mean, that was done. So same with Congress. Many votes shifted from Congress, but both parties have a loyal vote share. So that remains over there. They will vote for them come rain and shine. So you are very right. The Hindu consolidation. Now see, let us look at breakdown. What was BJP's strategy? Number one, as you said, they tried Hindu consolidation. This was partially helped by the Bangladesh issues over the last 1.5 years. Then they wanted to divide Muslim votes. They wanted to remove bogus voters. Out of 91 lakh, 58 lakh were simple bogus voters. Then this resulted into 3 to 5% rigging in West Bengal elections. And that has been happening from the left days. Then they wanted to neutralize IPAC, which was a very dubious organization handling very dubious responsibilities. So SIR, much of the controversy was actually misplaced, because if you look at the basic 27 lakh deletions, basically in 5 districts, mostly. And then, in those districts, those seats, BJP will never win. The demography is extremely tilted against them. That said, the division of Muslim votes did not succeed. It was unsuccessful, excepting to some extent in Murshidabad and Malda, and in 1 or 2 seats in South 24 Parganas, where mostly it is some of the Trinamool seats were lost to other parties, not BJP. BJP won 1 or 2. So the Hindu consolidation, so they put everything into this game. And the Hindu consolidation is something that actually should surprise even BJP. Because internally I know that how many people were asking me that what is my take on the number of seats, I mean, until late yesterday. So that said, other parts, they handle pretty well. I think the game was won, if you look at from voting point of view, the game was won by the free and fair polling that they ensured. 3 to 5% rigged, the margin has gone, and a 4 to 6% net addition to the voters. So these voters are genuine voters, and this net addition is completely Hindu votes. Now these are sleeping voters. We were not sure which way they are casting their votes until very fag end of the whole story. So the consolidation of Hindu votes, yes, I do agree, it has been surprising. I never expected that to happen, and it is across the board. If you look at Nodia, you will understand that it is not about any particular segment. If you look at Calcutta, you will realize, say, Rajbihari, it's an extremely posh constituency. These voters barely vote ever. Now, I mean, 30-40% is the polling percentage. This time, the miracle happened. So a lot of factors have gone into that. I personally feel the results have far exceeded the expectations of even BJP. Over to you.
Manish Bera, you wanted to interject?
Yeah, I think, this Hindu consolidation thing is being too simplistic. If you look at the law and order situation, especially the violence against women, an RG Kar incident, and then there was an incident in Asansol, I think the women voters felt pretty unsafe. So even the money which was being provided to them, a lot of people were banking on the fact that 1,500 rupees will really cut the ice. But one has to understand that safety first, right? So all these schemes and everything which the government was doing, it was at the cost of safety. At the same time, if you really go grassroots to West Bengal, to their police stations, and how the goons from the minority communities were being, in fact, there was no action at all. So I think people saw that. They saw firsthand that this government is only for few set of people. This government was not for all the people. So I don't think it's about Hindu consolidation only. I think governance was a larger issue. Law and order was a larger issue. The youth of West Bengal they were, all moving outside. They're still moving outside, and number of people, they're looking at job opportunities. So sadly, in West Bengal, we have only one city, Kolkata, for last 50, 60 years, while the rest of the country have moved on, and you have multiple cities, very brisk, buzzing cities, and you do not have anything in West Bengal. I think, and people work all over the country. So they come back and they see the kind of development which is happening in the rest of the, NDA ruled states and even other states. But West Bengal was like still, right? So you have crores and crores of people, lakhs of crores of money that was center's money that was just it's just going back because the government was not ready to spend it because the credit would go to center. That's the kind of, I would say sin being done by this government. So I think, one has to look at in larger context.
In fact, there's another very important thing, and I want to get all of you on it, and that's the SIR delimitation factor in the wins and the losses. But time for a very short break. We'll come right back to this. All right, it's time for a short break. Let's get into a break and we'll come right back.
बीमारी उम्र देखकर नहीं आती, इसलिए हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस बहुत जरूरी है। पॉलिसी बाजार ऐप पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 550 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
After a blockbuster first season, where corporate giants and industry leaders ruled the court, TV9 Network presents the ultimate corporate badminton championship season 2. A battle of skill, speed and supremacy with a massive 5 lakh rupee prize pool across categories at Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Gachibowli, Hyderabad from the 15th to the 17th May 2026. The court is set. Let the battles begin. Catch the action only on TV9 Network. To register, log on to www.tv9x.com.
Associate sponsor KL deemed to be university. Special partners Campa Sure, Sure hai. JK Max Paints, ChatGPT helps you get answers and find inspiration. Venue partner Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy.
New Birla Opus exterior paint gives warranty up to 16 years. Who believes that? I believe.
I do.
I do. I believe it too. New Birla Opus paint gives up to 16 years warranty on walls. That's why it's the new paint for a new era.
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
Welcome back. We're decoding the wins and the losses. I'm being joined by Manish Bariyar, Dr. Nishant Anand, Kavita Murlidharan, George Kaliavalil, as well as Pratim Ranjan Bose. Let's get straight to one of the issues that we really want to talk about, and that's the SIR or the delimitation factor. Well, a lot of people saying delimitation has worked strong for Assam. SIR factor, how much in play for West Bengal? That's something we'll have to really be looked into for nuances. Cultural Hindutva really not gaining ground when it came to Tamil Nadu. That's also something that we'll look into. But Manish Bariyar, do you want to start with this?
No, I think delimitation is something which has been happening for long years. I think had it been the only issue because of which a government gets formed, I think it's again oversimplification. Look at the mandate in Assam. So that kind of a mandate, do you think that it can only be because of the delimitation? Ultimately, the people are here to vote, isn't it? So I feel that that's something which is goes beyond this entire delimitation thing. I think the good governance of this this present government, and for last 10 years, the kind of schemes that have been brought in for the people, the kind of safety nets that have been brought, the welfare schemes, as well as massive investments in Assam as well as in the entire Northeast for infrastructure. So that you have to look at in the context. The lives of the people have changed. And I think the job opportunities that have come to people, the businesses that have come, you go to Guwahati and see, and I keep talking to people. In last 1 year, I've been thrice to Guwahati. The entire city has changed. The entire state has changed. You look at the place. I think the government, the people of Assam, they've really put a stamp, a mark on the performance of this government, and that matters. I think beyond caste lines, beyond religion, it's the good governance of the place that really makes a difference. And on SIR also, I would agree with Mr. Bose that SIR is only one of the factors. But, the Bangladesh factor also played a role because, just across the border, the Hindus were massacred out there. And if you look at the Jamaat one on the Bangladesh border, so the people were very alarmed with the kind of atrocities which Hindus faced in Bangladesh, and it is right on their border. So even from the border districts, people got really alarmed and they didn't want that fate. I think that also played a role, apart from obviously, BJP has been fighting for last 15 years to ensure that the kind of violence, the kind of gundagardi, whatever has been happening in Bengal and no development, that can... See, Snehaji, you must remember that Bengal is one of the least, growth rate states among the large states in the country. And that speaks for the kind of, stalled development that was happening out
Dr.
there.
Nishant, would you agree? Would you agree with what Manish Bariyar is saying?
See, I would like to only add that because of the SIR, if you talk about these states like Pondicherry or Bihar or these states, BJP, with the help of Election Commission, has reduced lakhs of voters, and which has changed and increased the vote share for BJP. That's what we saw in Maharashtra when within the 6 months of Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections, close to 67 lakh voters were increased, which were not done in 25 years. Same way in Pondicherry, last time the vote share was around 70 to 80,000 of voters. Now they did the SIR for 1,20,000. So I think the way they are using the SIR process should be checked, and they should make sure that the citizen of India is not getting out of the voter list.
Manish Bariyar, you have something to say?
No, I don't know. It's a ludicrous argument because if so many people are out of voting, they would be on streets in India, right? It is just not possible. So I think it's something which is a very old song now being sung by Congress. I'm very surprised they're just still on SIR. The country has moved on. The results are there. Not even Mamata Banerjee ever talked about SIR being in that sense the way Congress talks about. You look at all the statements made by them. A West Bengal government was never with Congress on SIR. I think that there are a lot of issues which are there which Congress would have to really look at in order to win the trust of this nation.
Pratim Ranjan Bose, would you agree with this? I mean, Mamata Banerjee raising the SIR card a lot during the elections, but has she misread it?
Absolutely, she misread it. Two things happened. Number one, it did not impact really the BJP seat share. Simple. Second, it created a hype, a huge hue and cry. It is my hypothesis that you see this across the board 92% plus vote share. You start from Alipurduar at the north to end south Purulia. Why so many people have come back? And Purulia, Bankura, these places barely have any SIR in. So all have come back and voted. A huge kind of alarm was raised. And this has actually helped BJP because more Hindus came and they voted. I mean, that way, to look at it that way. So I really don't agree. Insofar as SIR, you see, another problem happened. The deletions, the basic issue is about 27 lakh deletions. Now, these could have been, the least could have been far more shorter. I spoke to the special observer in EC, and he has been on record that because of the court cases, the numerous court cases that, they tried to stall the SIR process. So finally, the court intervened, court deployed judges. You barely have any way to complain about it. I mean, it's neutrality. So it's judges who did it, and judges cancelled 27 lakhs. That that could have been, the list could have been far shorter had it been done by the regular bureaucratic process. And insofar as the SIR argument, if you say it is because BJP wants to win some state or not, so then UP has 3 crore deletions. I think Gujarat has 15% or so deletions. So how does it help BJP over there?
If that's really the question, another thing that you... Nishant, do you want to respond to this, Dr. Nishant?
See, in the court, 7 petitions have been filed in the last 1.5 years. See, I want to mention, if we talk about, I'll mention the states Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi, Bihar, UP, West Bengal, Puducherry. All these states, SIR was done and large number of voters were deleted. Several complaints has been done. I remember in Bihar.
But the question is whether targeted votes have been deleted.
See, targeted vote has been deleted. That is why in every state, BJP vote share is increasing. In every state, the voting percentage is increased 10 to 15%. So everything is increased, and we can see BJP is winning in all the states with a large number of seats. And in Bihar, 9 people getting the same vote, 122,480, 486, 487. So these kinds of instances we have seen multiple times. So I think 7 states elections have happened, and in all these 7 states, lakhs of complaints has been done. Several petitions have been filed.
You wanted to say something to Dr. Nishant on this?
Can I say something? A word?
Yes, please.
See, you must be aware of this. What exactly West Bengal did? Now, you cannot officially blame Trinamool because this was done by a private agency. One person was found linked. He was linked by 350 as father. Can you beat it? This, in local terms, it is called Baba shopping. So there were malpractices, and the illegal immigrant is a major issue, Dr. Nishant. It's a very serious issue for us. So it doesn't matter whether it is 1% or 2%. There were many, I am sure, some genuine voters. That is what EC Observer has also been saying. But this happened because of the whole rush that was created. Because
if this was done to remove illegal immigrants,
and one word, sir. You see, Motuas, a BJP vote bank, right? It has been affected. I can give you the exact constituency, Lok Sabha constituency, where a huge deletion has taken place, and it is not Muslim. So it is. You can have your complaints, but I strongly believe, having seen the whole process, that it is not. You just cannot generalize it.
In total, 7 to 8 crores voters has been deleted in the last 2 to 3 years, saying they might be illegal immigrants. But close to 3,000 people have been removed in the last 12 to 14 years in BJP government. The question is not that we should not remove illegal immigrants. The question is BJP is using their name, not removing the illegal immigrants, but lakhs and crores of voters are getting deleted before every election. And that is how BJP is able to win. That is how the vote share is increasing for BJP. And that is how the voting percentage also increases. Like all the states, earlier it was, let's say, 67, now 84, 83% votage. People are going for vote. That is because in Haryana, we saw one person voting 20, 30, 40 times. We shared 25 lakhs epic numbers, which were fake epic numbers. Wrong name, wrong pictures, wrong address. So we have given the proofs. The complaints has been done. 7 writ petitions has been filed. So all these people cannot be wrong. All the state leaders, Rahul Gandhi ji, we did a press conference. We gave all the records. So this has all been out, and we always say these institutions are compromised, and we have given sufficient proofs, and people know about it. The BJP
okay, Pratim Bose wants to respond to this.
Dr. Nishant, in 2011 census, from 2011 census, Kolkata has been witnessing a shrinkage in population. You must be aware that we are the lowest total fertility rate city, as equivalent to Taiwan in the country. Now, population was down by 2%. Now, the next census is not done, but in that 10 years, the total number of voters was up in constituencies by 20% plus. Now, in this election, the total voter was down by 30%. Meanwhile, between 2021 and 2024, there was a huge addition that has taken place. So that is how the whole voter list was inflated. The common conclusion is that this huge 30% number that was there, these are, you didn't find these people are not complaining as, you don't find these people, these are ghosts. So these ghosts have been coming and voting. So we have in the past found our dead writers, dead theater personalities have been coming here and voting. So, I mean, this is the other side of the story.
Let's just quickly go to Ms. Kavita and Mr. George at this point. To both of you, here's the question. Much of this SIR and delimitation thing hasn't really been part of a conversation in Kerala. You did have a lot of it in Tamil Nadu for that matter. DMK was of course at the forefront of it, raising it again and again. But Mr. George, let me come to you first. Here's the question to you. One, why isn't SIR really an issue in Kerala? We've not heard politicians, whether it be the Congress leaders in Kerala or whether it be Pinarayi Vijayan, really talk about this a lot. It's not been a campaign issue, it's not been an election issue. And number two, when it comes to the consolidation of the Hindu vote, how much of that do you really see something that can happen in Kerala?
First of all, we should note that out of 2.69 crore voters in Kerala, 8.57 lakh was deleted after the SIR. But in Kerala, every political party, especially the opposition parties, Congress and CPM, were very vigilant. In each and every booth, they did the work and they made sure that much of the real voters are not deleted. And that's why the number came down to only 8.57 lakhs. But even that 8.57 lakh can change till the results in some constituencies where the margin is very low, especially the margin is below 2,000 or 1,000 or 500. There are some constituencies like V. Muralidharan won in Karakutam with a very slight margin. But that was not a mega issue when the elections came, because there are major issues. Congress was fighting CPM in Kerala, not BJP was not the main opposition in Kerala. That is because, and vice versa for CPM. And regarding the Hindu concentrations, yes, there was some concentration, especially in the southern districts of Thiruvananthapuram and Kollam. That's why Chatanur, nobody expected. Last time, CPM candidate won with almost 19,000 votes, but they lost to a BJP candidate, a local candidate, not a high-profile candidate like Rajiv Chandrasekharan or V. Muralidharan. Rajiv Chandrasekharan and V. Muralidharan was expected to win, at least lose by a very slight margin or win by a better margin. Finally, they won. Both of them won. And 3 seats. All the other seats, nobody, no media, not even BJP claimed that they will win Chatanur. They were claiming about Ambalapura, they were claiming about Palakkad, Manjeshwaram, there are so many other seats. But nobody thought this Chatanur seat will be won by BJP. But that is and now Congress is alleging that CPM voted for BJP. Or some Hindu votes, as we earlier said, some Hindu votes definitely was transferred from CPM or CPI to BJP.
All right. All right. We're totally out of time. Let me just go very quickly across to Ms. Kavita at this point. Ms. Kavita, one thing that doesn't seem to have worked in Tamil Nadu is possibly the consolidation of the Hindu vote, or the cultural Hindutva, as it were. It doesn't seem to have worked in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Would you say the Vijay factor was a big reason for that?
No, I don't think the BJP's effort to kind of push this, Hindutva narrative in Tamil Nadu will ever work, at least, and for the next few years, I don't think it's going to work. Even if people wanted a change, they voted for Vijay, and Vijay was, he didn't go after BJP as much as he went after the DMK, but he was still positioning BJP as his ideological enemy. So, Vijay is one factor, but it's also important to note that Tamil Nadu traditionally has been very anti-BJP state. Even in Thiruparangundram issue, locals were very clear that they will not allow the right-wing Hindutva elements to mess around. So that is how it is, and it's always been there. But I think BJP is playing the long game. Even now, I can see BJP supporters claiming the victory as, they kind of support Vijay. They say, no, the people have anyway voted the DMK and ADMK out, and they see it as a positive sign. So maybe next election, they'll try to build their own road in Tamil Nadu. I'm not sure if it will work in the next election. But for now, I think Tamil Nadu has remained true to its, what it claims to be. At least it's kept the cultural Hindutva out of the state.
Manish Bariyar.
Yeah, so I take an exception to that word Hindu consolidation. Why should Hindu bear the the burden of not being consolidated? If Muslims vote to the one party or Christians vote to the one party, nobody really talks about the word polarization or consolidation. And when Hindus vote,
I think everybody has already spoken. One of the things, Manish Bariyar, that often would be spoken would be about how the minorities have consolidated for the Congress. How a particular group has consolidated, their votes have consolidated for the left. So it's not like the word consolidation of the minority vote was not used before, Manish Bariyar.
Kavita ji will very soon will eat one day her words in terms of Tamil Nadu not being receptive to BJP. I think one day probably we'll live and then on this channel we'll talk one day about it. Tamil Nadu will respond to BJP. They have responded. And one day that will come. That day will also come. That's how people used to talk about Bengal. You see what happened in Bengal today.
I can actually speak about how BJP made, kind of pulled off its first victory in Tamil Nadu, but I don't think we have the time.
All right. Okay. I think we'll just leave it at that. The leaders of the moment really at this point, we'll have to see how it goes in Bengal. Suvendu Adhikari, the chief minister, that's something that we'll have to really look into. In Tamil Nadu, we'll have to see how Vijay gets his numbers together. In Kerala, you have a big talk about who's going to be the chief minister. You've got a good mandate. We don't know who's going to be the chief minister, how Congress is going to come together for all of that. Big questions. Answers soon. Thank you, all of you, for joining me. Manish Bariyar, Dr. Nishant Anand, Kavita Muralidharan, George Kaliavalil, as well as Pratim Ranjan Bose. Thank you so much for your time. It's time for a very short break. On the other side, we speak to our colleagues from across the state to get their insights on what the big hits and the big misses have been.
अरे नहीं चाहिए टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस यार।
भाई अमीर आदमी है, पैसा प्रॉपर्टी बेहिसाब।
अरे नहीं यार, मैं भी तुम्हारी तरह मिडिल क्लास ही हूँ।
तो अगर कल को तुझे कुछ हो गया तो तेरी फैमिली को कौन संभालेगा?
पॉलिसी बाजार ऐप पर 1 करोड़ का टर्म इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 410 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
After a blockbuster first season, where corporate giants and industry leaders ruled the court, TV9 Network presents the ultimate corporate badminton championship season 2. A battle of skill, speed and supremacy, with a massive 5 lakh rupee prize pool across categories at Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Gachibowli, Hyderabad, from the 15th to the 17th May 2026. The court is set. Let the battles begin. Catch the action only on TV9 Network. To register, log on to www.tv9x.com.
Associate sponsor KL deemed to be university. Special partners Campa Sure, Shukar hai, JK Max Pens, ChatGPT helps you get answers and find inspiration. Venue partner Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
They want to attack us, they want to target us, so we have to defend ourselves.
They are punishing countries outside the region as well, like India, and like countries in South and East Asia.
The big problem that they've created now is the closure of the strait.
Ultimately, the main purpose of this exercise is, frankly, to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Whenever they've got involved in a war on behalf of somebody else, there isn't been just an altruistic purpose.
Amid a fragile ceasefire, stakeholders take on the tough questions.
Was Israel surprised by the asymmetric warfare which Iran started conducting?
Yes, I think it was kind of surprised the level of savagery.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
So we have to defend ourselves.
Like never before, on point with Kartikeya Sharma, decoding Hormuz, Kharg, and the ceasefire.
What is the future of peace in West Asia?
I hope that they got their lesson.
That are supposed to give a chance. We stay ready in case it doesn't work.
Every war has a political objective.
The voices that matter, only on News9.
Welcome back. Joining me right now is Gargi Guha Thakurta, input editor, TV9 Bangla. Well, Gargi, it's a BJP sweep. How is the mood on the ground?
The mood, if I talk about the mood on the ground in Bengal after this huge mandate being given to BJP, I can divide the mood in three parts. First, the mood in the BJP camp. It's a mood of celebration and vindication in the BJP offices, in the main office as well as in district offices and across the party workers who are celebrating this huge mandate in Bengal after a long time. So this is one mood we see, and this mood, this mood of celebration and vindication actually supports the slogan by the BJP leadership when they had talked about like fear is out and now the trust is in. So this is the mood in the BJP camp. And when we go to the TMC camp, we see a mood of complete dejection, anxiety. In some parts, in some offices, they are still in a mode of denial. So this is the mood we see in TMC party offices, and it is resonating with the leadership as well as the workers. And the third mood is, of course, about the public mood. Now, the public mood, again, in pockets like where you see the Hindus, the Motuas and all, there is a sense of relief that BJP has come in, and now they would probably, have an easier access to the citizenship.
Right. BJP seems to have even won in TMC's heartlands. What does this really mean?
Yes, a very pertinent question you have asked, like why and how BJP could make inroads in the TMC heartland. First thing is that I would say, of course, the SIR has some kind of impact in the TMC heartland also, because we all know lakhs of names got deleted. And this, of course, has some kind of imprint on the ballot box. And secondly, the minority vote. We have always talked about a consolidated minority vote, which has always gone in favor of TMC. But this time there has been some kind of, I would say, some kind of fragmentation in the minority vote, wherein we see Humayun Kabir, once upon a Trinamool leader, who was, kind of angry with the Trinamool leadership. He has made his own party, how he has made dent in some pockets. And of course he has won in the two seats he had contested, that is Rajinagar and Noida. But at the same time, one thing I forgot to mention, that is ISF. That has also made dents in areas like Bhangur, where Naushad Siddiqui has won. Now, we had always talked about minority votes consolidation, but in that discussion, probably the one thing which was not highlighted so much, that was the Hindu vote consolidation. This time we had seen, the analyst had clearly said that TMC votes, TMC Hindu votes, that also got transferred to BJP. So that is one area we must look into, and of course this has helped BJP in gaining foothold in the TMC heartland. And the third factor is, of course, the same thing like loss of jobs and migration to other states for jobs and all. This is, of course, given a descent in the youth, rural as well as urban youth, who have, kind of voted in favor of BJP. So, in a nutshell, that is the, these are the reasons why BJP could make inroad in the TMC heartland.
Right. And Gargi, what are the biggest factors that led to downfall of Mamata according to you?
So you want me to sum up the reasons of downfall of TMC. First thing I would mention the anti-incumbency. Now, why is this anti-incumbency so high running after 15 years of TMC rules? That is one thing. The first thing is the corruption. We had seen how the school recruitment scam has happened, how the civic recruitment scam has happened, and of course 26,000 teachers have lost their job. So all these, had made people extremely wary of Trinamool in terms of corruption. And secondly, that is the law and order narrative. We had seen how it was, how it came in the forefront in case of Arjikar doctor's death. So that law and order narrative also worked. And the third, of course, will be post-poll violence. And we had seen Shandesh Khali-like incident. So all these things have gone against the TMC. Secondly, we have spoken about minority vote split and the Hindu consolidation vote. That is always there. And thirdly, I would say the all-out push from the BJP central leadership, and how the BJP government across the country, they had all put together, and the leadership, they did dozens of rallies, road shows, and BJP deployed the top leadership for days in the state just to, keep the narrative that this time it is BJP's time, TMC's time is over. We had seen how many times Prime Minister, Home Minister, they had come, and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Ji, he had come, Himanta Biswa Sharma from Assam had come. So we had seen these rallies and shows, public rallies and meetings and all. And another thing is that, this welfare policy, or if we say in a very critical way, the dole politics. It has worked for TMC when they had started with so many of schemes like Lokhir Bhandar for women. But this time there was a counter narrative by BJP also, that once BJP comes into power, the dole, the scheme, the amount of money given would be higher. Like instead of 1500 Lokhir Bhandar, the BJP government will be paying 3,000 to all the women. So of course this has worked across the women voters. And in a nutshell, we would see like people had enough of TMC's, I would say, misgovernance in the state. and so people had given mandate this way. SIR is there, of course, which is again related to the minority vote. And lastly, I would mention, of course, the role of Election Commission. The way the people had come out this time to vote, even in the high rises, we had seen the master stroke was, making a booth in the high rise complex. So people have come out in great numbers to vote. And of course, we had always seen, like, when people come out in numbers, those votes are actually anti-incumbency votes.
Right. Thank you so much, Gargi, for joining us with that analysis. And I'm also being joined by Digjyoti Lakar, my colleague from Guwahati. Digjyoti, Himanta has established himself as the Hindu Hriday Samrat. The consolidation of the Hindu vote, very visible, very ingrained. Explain this to us.
This is in the first time in the political history of Assam since independence, we have seen there is a totally polarization of vote. Yes, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has become the Hindu Hriday of people of Assam. Not only people of Assam, we have seen his reflection towards the Hindutva and his love in the neighboring West Bengal also. And after the conclusion of Assam Assembly election on 9th April, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is on almost 14 days election campaign in West Bengal and particularly in the North Bengal. In Assam, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma will lead the whole scenario. And the beginning was started once he assumed the office of the Chief Minister on 10th of May 2021. Once he became the Chief Minister of Assam, the initial step he has taken to relieve the debt of the women who taken micro loan from various private banks. And after wipe out that, he has taken the initiative to give Arunodaya scheme to the women of Assam. And we have seen more than 40 lakhs Arunodaya family in Assam. And slow and steadily, he has taken the development project as well as the Hindutva card. For the first time, he used the Hindutva card and he adopt a unique policy to push back the infiltrators, the suspected Bangladeshi during the night hours when the Bangladeshi infiltrators crossed the border, when they have been arrested, instead of doing any judicial inquiry or anything, they in the through porous border only, the way they used to come, that way they has been pushed away from Assam. And we have seen in 2024 when the delimitation was happened in Assam after 1976, the assembly constituencies have been fragmented and the Hindu seat has been polarized and the minority seat, they have been cited in a different way. And Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, from very beginning, he said that the contest will be between 23 seats versus 103.
Right. Right, Digjyoti, in fact, anti-infiltration narrative versus development, what has Assam voted for?
Yes, each and every corner, and except two districts of Assam, particularly Dhubri district and a few part of Gwalpara and Barpeta. The rest of Assam is in a very jubilant mood. People are very much happy because they have casted vote on 9th April and today they have seen the result. And it's a tremendous mandate by the people of Assam for development, for the BJP party, for Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and for their local MLA or local ministers. And that is why the people have come out in the large. And you have seen a lot of people. I am in the Nalbari town right now. People are talking. So, क्या हुआ क्यों किस लिए आप लोग क्या मतलब लगता है ये खुशी कैसा है?
देखो जो लोग इंडिया है ना और घुसपैठे है ना उनको लेके इतना सीट मिला है और जो हमारा मुख्यमंत्री है ना वो हिमंत बिस्वा शर्मा वो बहुत डेवलप करता है नौकरी दिया है तब इसलिए इतना रिजल्ट अच्छा हुआ
पहले नौकरी मिलता था बिना पैसा से
ना
Yes, this is a big question whether development or the infiltration issue. And I will rather say both the infiltration and development. This both issue play a crucial role for BJP-led India to clinch 102 seats out of 126 seats. And in this Assam Assembly election, although BJP always have a key issue of implementation. Not only BJP, Ahom Gana Parishad was also born out of the Assam Accord that ASU-led student movement for 6 years to only keep away the infiltrators or the suspected Bangladeshis from the Assam. And we have seen already the Muslim population, particularly in some areas, in Lower Assam, Middle Assam, how they have been influenced. Right now in Assam, if we calculate the Muslim population is 34%, but they have been kept aside in 23 seats out of 126 in the Assam Assembly election. Earlier, they used to play crucial role in around 29 to 31 seats. But this time, the Muslim population is to rest. They have been refrained in a place limited to 23 seats. And in the delimitation process that is held in Assam in 2024, we have seen the villages have been cut away and they have been in a different way. And that really helped the BJP.
Right, Digjyoti there giving us all the details of how people are really responding to the results in Assam. Moving on to Tamil Nadu. I'm being joined by my colleague Thoya Jakshi. Thoya, at this point, how do you really decode what's happening in Tamil Nadu? The big victory for Vijay.
Well, of course, this is indeed a big win for actor-turned-politician Vijay in this 2026 Assembly elections in Tamil Nadu. As you see that TVK is the first party, a new party which has 3-digit number in the first round of the counting itself. On the other hand, when you see the two other Dravidian parties are still struggling to get the 3-digit number. Yes, of course, it is a big win. As you see that there were several questions which was raised by the people as well as for several politicians. Will Vijay's fan base turn out into votes? But you see the answer today where TVK Vijay is leading. TVK party is leading in with 105 plus seats in the elections. On the other hand, you also see that this is a big debut for TVK actor-turned-politician Vijay, as his party was launched in 2024, and this is 2026, where Vijay himself has contested in 2 constituencies, that is from Perambur and Tirupati East, where he has gained victory in both the constituencies. And you also see that this is a big win for Vijay, where we also see that it is expected. Now, what kind of actions will Vijay plan in the coming days? As we also see that there's, sources are saying that already a resort has been booked for the TVK winning candidates, where, to keep them away from horse trading and any mulling by other parties.
Well, thank you, Thoya. That was Thoya on the results from Tamil Nadu. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
They want to attack us, they want to target us, so we have to defend ourselves.
They are punishing countries outside the region as well, like India, and like countries in South and East Asia.
The big problem that they've created now is the closure of the strait.
Ultimately, the main purpose of this exercise is, frankly, to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Whenever they've got involved in a war on behalf of somebody else, there isn't been just an altruistic purpose.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
Is leadership acquired or leaders are born?
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win.
If you believe you can, you can.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
You define a concept called against all odds. You seem to be a Destiny's Child. When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you and said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100 or a Sehwag scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
There is a quality about me, which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world, is if you play a sport well.
How would it be possible for a person, ordinary person, for me to know?
ये acting कर रहा है या ये सच कर रहा है?
ये जो बात
I'm not a very good actor in real life. Real life मेरे चेहरे पे दिख जाता है झूठ बोल रही है.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page. This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career. And this was motivating me.
I was literally on my phone at home and they're like, oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breasts. And I'm like, wait, what?
When I started stumbling and I started making the mistakes, that I realized that now that person who I have not forgiven 2 years back, now I know what he feels like.
Very important understanding of life, that you will only get opportunities if you're good. And if you're not good, don't expect opportunities.
The best example I could ever give is Abraham Lincoln, losing every election he ever had till he won the presidency.
You know, I actually have the feeling that my life hasn't started yet.
We all have two lives. The second one begins the day we realize that we only have one life.
Wow.
Amid a fragile ceasefire, stakeholders take on the tough questions.
Was Israel surprised by the asymmetric warfare which Iran started conducting?
Yes, I think it was a kind of surprise, the level of savagery.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
So we have to defend ourselves.
Like never before, on point with Kartikeya Sharma, decoding Hormuz, Kharg, and the ceasefire.
What is the future of peace in West Asia?
I hope that they got their lesson.
That are supposed to give a chance. We stay ready in case it doesn't work.
Every war has a political objective.
The voices that matter, only on News9. This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिंदाबाद, भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिंदाबाद, नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद। आज हम सभी आज यहाँ पर उपस्थित हुए हैं और एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है हम सभी के लिए। सर्वप्रथम जय मां कामाख्या, जय मां काली, जय मां भारती। आज 5 राज्यों के विधानसभा के चुनाव के संपन्न के बाद जो ऐतिहासिक समर्थन हमारे देवतुल्य जनता ने, भारत की यशस्वी जनता ने इन 5 राज्यों में जो हमें समर्थन दिया है, उसके लिए मैं हृदय की गहराई से उन तमाम 5 राज्य के लोगों को अभिनंदन करता हूं कि आपने हमारे नेतृत्व के प्रति, भाजपा और एनडीए के प्रति अपना विश्वास व्यक्त किया है। मित्रों, आज 4 जून का दिन है, नतीजे आए हैं और ये नतीजे 4 मई का दिन है और नतीजे आए हैं, लेकिन मैं 4 जून 2024 को भी आपको याद कराना चाहता हूं। जनता के मन में हमारे नेतृत्वकर्ता को जो समर्थन और जो विश्वास दिया था, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं उनके मन में एक कसक रह गई थी। और आज जब 4 मई को
प्रचंड बहुमत, प्रचंड जीत अगर दी है तो 2024 की उस कसक को पूरा किया है। और उसके बाद के हुए चुनाव में 2024 के बाद जब चुनाव हुए, हर राज्यों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को प्रचंड जीत देने का काम किया। नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व के प्रति आस्था व्यक्त की, विश्वास व्यक्त किया है। और आज जब पश्चिम बंगाल, असम, पुडुचेरी, इन तीनों राज्यों के जो चुनाव के परिणाम आए हैं, उन परिणामों ने यह स्पष्ट किया कि आज देश की जनता का अटूट विश्वास, देश की जनता का अटूट समर्थन हमारे नेता, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के प्रति है। मैं देश की जनता को इसके लिए आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। लेकिन साथ ही साथ दक्षिण भारत में भी जिस प्रकार से सशक्त उपस्थिति हमारी पार्टी को मिली है, आने वाले समय में दक्षिण भारत भी भाजपा के कमल से खिलेगा। हम आज के इस चुनाव परिणाम के बाद अपने सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को, अपने शीर्ष नेतृत्व को, जिन्होंने अथक परिश्रम किया, और आज उनके अथक परिश्रम का, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के परिश्रम का परिणाम है कि उनकी तपस्या रंग लाई और आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी को एक प्रचंड जीत मिली है। मित्रों, ये जीत काफी संघर्षों के बाद, हम कह सकते हैं कि वर्षों तक वामपंथ के पूरे पश्चिम बंगाल को जिस प्रकार से हिंसक वातावरण में तृणमूल की सरकार ने जिस प्रकार से तानाशाही रवैये में वहां की जनता को रखा था, एक पूरा भय का वातावरण वहां के लोगों के बीच में बना हुआ था। आज हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं ने जो प्राणों की आहुति दी, जो बलिदान दिया, और हम कह सकते हैं हमारे माताओं और बहनों ने जो पुत्र और पति को खोया, आज उन सब को मैं नमन करता हूं और उन सब के समर्पण को अभिनंदन करता हूं। और मैं मानता हूं कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व में जिस प्रकार से उस भय के वातावरण से नरेंद्र मोदी के भरोसे के वातावरण में जनता आई है, हम स्पष्ट रूप से अपने नेतृत्वकर्ता का अभिनंदन करते हैं। मित्रों, पूरे देश में लोग कहते हैं चुनाव के समय में कि एंटी इनकम्बेंसी होता है, लेकिन मैं मानता हूं भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकारों का और नरेंद्र मोदी के नेतृत्व का यह परिणाम है कि आज प्रो इनकम्बेंसी की फैक्टर पर चर्चा होती है। और यही कारण है असम और पुडुचेरी में लगातार हमारी सरकारें रिपीट हुई हैं। ये दिखाता है कि अगर जनता के बीच में आप विकास के वादों को पूरा करेंगे, मोदी की गारंटी को, सपनों को हकीकत की आईने में बुनेंगे, तो जनता आपके साथ खड़ी होती है। और यही कारण है कि देश